If you have ever gone to a new area, it's obvious that you don't know everything, and you may oftentimes ask questions about some things that to anybody that lived there is completely obvious, and you stand out like a sore thumb when you ask those questions. Well, Coastal Delaware is no different. We have certain things that you should just know, that way you don't stand out as much when you start asking questions and you have a little bit of knowledge coming into the area. So if you are someone that's looking to come on vacation here or looking to relocate here to Coastal Delaware, make sure that you stay for the entirety of the video, so that way you sound more like a local once you get here and you don't stand out quite as obviously that you're not from here once you ask some of these questions. Before we dive into the content today, my name is Matt Lunden. I'm a local real estate agent here in Coastal Delaware, and I put out content each and every week discussing all things Coastal Delaware and what it's like to live here. If that's something that you would like to see some more of, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. And then if you're someone that's looking to buy or sell real estate here in Coastal Delaware, that's what we help you with every single day, and we absolutely love hearing from you guys here on the channel. So all my information will be down below in the description and here on the screen. If we can help in absolutely any way, don't hesitate to reach out. Now let's dive back into the content. For starters, and probably the biggest call out of what makes you sound like you're not from the area, is pronouncing town names correctly. And the one that is most often botched is Lewes. Lewes is not pronounced Lewes, and it's not pronounced Lewes. It's Lewes. Just like your Uncle Lewis or the name Lewis, it's pronounced Lewes. There's nothing more obvious to the locals here and the people that have been here for a while than if you say, hey, what's up there in Lewes? It's not Lewes, it's Lewes. Make sure you're saying it correctly. That way you don't stand out as much when you get here. Number 2 on the list is going to be black license plates. If you're not from the area or you've not spent a lot of time here, you may be asking yourself, what the heck is he talking about? If you drive down the road, you see black license plates in Delaware. They're black and white, and they've got some numbers on them. Well, the lower the number on that tag, the higher the price of that tag. So if you see somebody with a low 2-digit or low 3-digit tag, they've likely paid a pretty good penny for that tag, unless it's their original or their grandparents' original. A lot of those are willed into their family, heirloom items. So if you see somebody with a low 2-digit tag, it's probably a $500,000 license plate. Yes, you heard me correctly, a $500,000. People are paying that much money for a license plate for the back of their car. And the way that came about is because Delaware's license plates originally went in a certain chronological order. So originally there was only, 10 tags, and there was 100 tags. And as the numbers got larger, it meant the smaller number you had, the longer time that you've been here, and you're more of a Delaware local. Well, what better way to prove that you're a Delaware local than to buy a low-digit tag from someone else? So you've got a lot of people that have created this free market. It's got nothing to do with the DMV, but you can go and buy a license plate off somebody. Currently, the highest amount that somebody has paid is just around $500,000. So if you see a license plate that's low 2 digits, it's likely that they've paid close to $500,000, unless it's been willed through their family and they've got it from their great-grandparent or something. It's an expensive license plate. I know if you're from out of the area, that probably sounds absolutely ludicrous, and you guys just go to the DMV and get your plates, which you certainly can do here in Delaware as well. But for those that are looking for a little bit more of a status symbol or to establish their localness a little bit better than somebody else, they just throw cash at it and they spend a lot of money proving that they are more local by getting a lower digit tag. So if you are driving down the road and looking at some different license plates as you're driving to pass the time, just know that any of those low digit black ones came with a pretty hefty price tag along the way. Somewhat of a food staple for locals in the area, Scrapple. If you've never heard of Scrapple before, just think of a hot dog as breakfast meat, basically. So it's all the scraps of the pig as they're processing the pig, and it's formed into a kind of a log shape, and you cut it into patties, and then you have it as part of your breakfast meal. Some people put it in omelets, put it on a sandwich. Variety of ways to eat your Scrapple, but Scrapple here in Delaware is famous. Just up in Bridgeville, we've got Scrapple, which is one of the most famous manufacturers of Scrapple in the area, and they have an entire Scrapple festival. So it is a big deal here in Delaware. If you've never heard of Scrapple, I'm assuming once you move here, you'll definitely hear of it because it's on a lot of breakfast menus throughout the state, and it is definitely popular here in southern Delaware, particularly in the middle and western parts of Sussex County. It is a staple on those menus. So if you spend a little bit of time out at a few different breakfast spots, you'll likely hear and see of Scrapple. and now you know a little bit more about it. Number 4 on our list, and we made a video about it just a few weeks ago, Route 1 traffic. It's no secret, it backs up in the summertime. Route 1 traffic, I know in comparison to a lot of other areas, it's not nearly as bad as where you may be coming from. But for us here in little old coastal Delaware, when it gets backed up, it gets a little bit frustrating. You can expect it to back up. It used to be on Fridays and Saturdays throughout the summer. Now with COVID and the shift of work schedules to being more remote and that kind of stuff, we see traffic more on Thursdays and Fridays. But just know that going into it, if you plan on driving from Lewes to Rehoboth on a Thursday or Friday afternoon, that you need to leave a little bit more time in your travel schedule to get where you're going, because you are likely to sit in quite a bit of traffic between those 2 points. Throughout the rest of the area, it's really not bad. It's really just that corridor from Lewes to Rehoboth, because you got a lot of people going to Rehoboth. You got a lot of people stopping at the outlet centers and the various restaurants along the way. And it's a popular corridor for people coming down through the area to go to Ocean City, because they want to stop and enjoy some tax-free shopping on their way into town. They may stop at the outlets and some other various stores, so they come through that way as well, which just adds to a little bit more traffic on the roadway. Again, unless you're on Route 1 between Lewes and Rehoboth, the traffic really isn't that bad. But just know that if you're going to be on that stretch, you're going to be sitting for a little bit. The final item, and probably one of the biggest, adjustments people need to make when they move to the area, we're called slower, lower Delaware. It's a slower way of life. Things just happen a little bit slower. We're on beach time. It's not going to be the hustle and bustle that you're used to in New York, New Jersey, and some other areas, DC, those kind of areas. It's just slower. Everybody moves a little bit slower. Everybody does things a little bit slower, and it's just how we like it. So slower, lower Delaware, get used to the slower pace of life. Just kick back, relax, and enjoy your time, either whether you're moving here or just here on vacation. Just enjoy life as it is and take things a little bit slower and a little less serious. That's going to do it for our video today on things that you should know about moving to coastal Delaware or vacationing in coastal Delaware, so you sound a little bit more like a local. As always, we put out content each and every week discussing all things coastal Delaware. And if that is something that you would like to see some more of, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. And then if you're someone that's looking to buy or sell real estate here in coastal Delaware, that's what we help you with each and every day, and we love hearing from you guys here on the channel. So all our information is going to be down below in the description and here on the screen. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We look forward to hearing from you, and we hope to see you next time. Peace.